Great. Coach Casey is going to start with an opening statement before moving on to questions.
Well, definitely exciting. Happy New Year to everyone. Excited about the new season, the second season of this school year. Obviously, the second semester or in between our academic year. And we're excited. We're excited to embark on another SEC journey. Tough conference. We've seen some great teams, top to bottom, do some great things nationally. And some, like ourselves, not being able to execute on the scheduling that I thought we had. We played some great teams against some great opponents, 3 of them in the top 10, top 15, but obviously had some great wins against some top quad one teams, as Pittsburgh is a quad one victory on the road for us. And Minnesota's playing great basketball. That's a quad two victory, something that I think could move into the quad one area. But they've won 6 games in a row. So the scheduling matrix, when you look at it, has done tremendous for us in our learning. And I'm excited about being able to capitalize and see exactly what it is that we can take those lessons into this long but short SEC season that's going to come at us quick.
Questions?
When you get into the rhythm of SEC play, it's different than the non-con. Kind of what's your message to your guys about how to handle the rhythm of games, whether it's Tuesday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, that whole thing?
Well, the disruption of a conference schedule, you can have a game in, 2 games a week or 3 games in a week. But more importantly, I think the one thing that you look at in your non-conference is making sure you have those back-to-back games where it's a short turnaround and you're able to see what information your players can obviously retain, because scouting reports is going to be just as important, but also the ability to reset the scouting report and learn something new and not take in what that plan was last game, whether offensively, defensively, or even personnel. The travel is another thing that you have. That's why it was important for us to get into neutral sites, get on the road, so our team can, obviously get to know themselves. Coaches get to know our players and how their body respond, strength and conditioning, trainer, and all those things, they matter. But also make sure there's enough perseverance that's built over that time to take us into this, the rigors of a conference season.
Dennis, if you had to pinpoint maybe one thing that you're most proud of that your team has grown from, since we call the first season to this second season starting SEC play, what's one thing maybe you're proud of?
Well, I look at it from this point. I think defensively, when you can be top 10 team in block shots, top 50 team in steals, you still have 9+ makes from the three-point line is there. We may not be averaging the same amount of points. Last year during this time, we were second in conference in overall points per game. Our point production has gone down, but our defense has gone up in certain areas, which is something that I'm excited about. The last thing I would say is being able to, just hit the reset button from the crowd standpoint. I think our fans have been behind us no matter what the outcome has been, no matter what the place has been, and it makes a difference to be able to have 10,000 plus fans here the day after our football team played in one of the biggest bowls in the history of our program, and being able to go on top, right? They were able to come back in town and show up and didn't have a hangover, so to speak, of their energy being provided in that atmosphere and then coming back. Our students the same way. The excitement in our fans, it helped us last season. And there were some close games against teams, no matter where they were ranked at in our conference, no matter what the conference record was, our crowd made a difference, and it's going to be the same. So tomorrow at noon, make sure you guys are out there supporting, because we need you, and you have made a difference in our seasons.
Dennis, what's the difference going into SEC play this year as opposed to last year?
The difference?
Yeah, the 2 years.
I think it's a different landscape of teams, meaning last year we saw a top team in Alabama sustain their run. This season, anybody can win it. It can be any sort of the top 4 teams. Texas A&M came in as a favorite. You have their injuries. You cannot predict the injuries and outcomes and the rhythm the interruption of the rhythm that it causes. You look at how well Tennessee is playing. You look at how well Ole Miss is playing. You look at how well Kentucky's playing. they have all played a different style, and you can kind of see it happen. So the evolution of our conference, although it may not show with 8 teams ranked, 9 teams ranked, I think in our postseason selection Sunday, there can be 8 or 9 teams selected, and I think there will. So the depth of our conference is changing. The style of play of our conference has evolved, and there are some great teams and great coaches and great players who are playing outside of obviously the stats and the improvement and different things like that. So I'll be curious because I believe at this point Sean East is the most improved player in our conference. I'll be curious to see if that's an award that can one day be a part of our conference postseason awards. Newcomer award, there's a lot of newcomers from the transfer portal in our conference that are impacting the game, but that we don't want to leave out the freshmen. So can you have 2 different teams of newcomer and freshman of the year? There's some unbelievable basketball being played, and I'm just excited to be and embark on my 2nd season here as the Witten family head men's basketball coach, and the excitement of what a conference schedule can unveil.
Coach, what are some of the things from the Central Arkansas game that you saw from your team that you want to carry over into the conference play?
Well, I saw, although our 3-point production was down, I saw our team score a lot in the paint. I saw us turn down some shots and take some other shots that led us to the free throw line. One of the disappointments for me when I look at our non-conference schedule is that our opponents shot way more free throws than us. And again, I wish I can control the whistle, but I can't. And our guys got to figure out ways to draw fouls in a healthy way without being distracted or taking themselves off balance, and be a little bit stronger with the ball. And ultimately, that's an area that I think we can improve on, and I think we will.
When you have a stretch like this where you played only 1 game in a couple of weeks and you have all that practice time, what are the main points of emphasis you've had in practice the last couple of weeks?
Well, the most important thing is everybody remaining healthy and getting healthy. I think that is important as we've been disrupted with our flow. You look at our players who have gone through injuries, and it's been a couple. So we want to stay healthy. That's most important. Then we want to be able to get better in certain areas, continue to shoot the ball at the pace we are, and get guys out of their funks like Noah Carter, Connor Vanover. Those guys in their career have shot over 30% from 3. And this small sample size, they're shooting a less percentage. I want to encourage them to continue to shoot it because that's what they've done in their 4 or 5 year careers, and they're better shooters than their percentages say. So I look for those guys to try to get out of the funk that they're in and try to find that rhythm. I need another guy in terms of our perimeter to be able to make plays. I think Tamar Bates have done a good job, and we saw that last game with his production, his percentage. But also we need another guy to step up in that area. I think our leadership has improved, so to speak, and our communication. Those things matter over time, and that's where I think I've seen this team grow.
Looking at this game coming up, what are some of the challenges does this Georgia team present?
I think Coach White has done a great job putting this team together. This is his, 2nd season at Georgia, but he's a double-digit year guy in this conference, so he knows the conference. The other thing is their strength of, inside play is good. They have a balance of guard play. They take care of the basketball at a tremendous rate. Being able to have a positive assist-to-turnover ratio is tremendous. Being able to shoot the ball at the free throw line, they're averaging 17 to 18 free throws a game. You look at the balance that they have, but also the experience that they've been able to acquire within their program. Abdur Rahim is shooting the ball at a high level, one of the better shooters in our conference. And we just have to make sure that we look at it from that standpoint when we see the challenges that they cause transition-wise. They'll get out in the open court because those guards do make a lot of great plays. They have a 3-ball handling system, no different than us. And they've done a good job, man, and my hat's off to them. And again, when you look at preseason records, everything and everyone stars 0-0 in this 2nd season of conference play.
Yeah,
One
you
last
just kind of
question.
mentioned it. When you hit this second season, do you kind of get a sense from your guys that there's a flip switch, kind of a reset, like you mentioned? Do you get that sense from them?
So it's a rediscovery of, and because you can start with a 0-0 record, you don't eliminate your record from non-conference, but you can start a new season 0-0, and that is a part of your growth and more a part of your postseason opportunities than anything out there. We let some games go, but we did win some good games. No different than last year during this time. We let some games go, but I thought we didn't do that until conference play. We were able to come into conference with one loss, and that was the Kansas loss, with some great wins. And ultimately, we got into the NCAA tournament last season because of our conference play and the wins on the road and the wins at home. That is what matters most, and being able to have a first round bye in the NCAA tournament, or in the conference tournament, is important. And we were able to finish top 4. We didn't know we finished top 4 until the last game of the season, and certain things had to happen. So it's a long season. We kind of got to break it into thirds, play from our first 6, middle 6, last 6. That's kind of how I look at it. And try to figure out in those miniature seasons how well and how much improvement we have to make as a team.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, MIZ.